On October 19, 1961, more than 150 military personnel were on hand at the Philadelphia International Airport to witness a demonstration of the United States Army's new transport helicopter, the YHC-1B Chinook. The Chinook is powered by two Lycoming T55L5 turbine engines, which develop a total of 4,400 shaft horsepower. Over 7 tons of military equipment, or 33 troops, can be loaded and unloaded rapidly through the rear ramp. Items that exceed the length of the 30-foot-long cargo compartment can protrude out the rear end by leaving the ramp open during flight. Each major component of the helicopter transportable Pershing missile system will fit within the 6.5-foot high by 7.5-foot wide cabin. Equipment which will not fit inside the cargo compartment can be suspended below the fuselage on the Chinook's 8-ton capacity external cargo hook. This demonstration flight on October 19th was conducted after the Chinook had accumulated only 10 hours of hovering and only 7 hours of additional flight testing. During the latter 7 hours of additional flight testing, which was accomplished during the 3 weeks immediately preceding this flight, the Chinook had been flown in sideward and rearward flight up to 30 knots and in forward flight to 120 knots. It had been operated at gross weights up to 27,200 pounds. During the October 19th flight demonstration, the Chinook was operated within this established flight envelope. Pilots who have flown the Chinook report its handling characteristics and flying qualities are far superior to those exhibited by any previous new model during the early phases of flight testing. The recorded level of vibration is generally within specification limits, and this too is unique in the early flights of a new model helicopter. In fact, the most impressive result of the early flight testing of the Chinook is the complete absence of any major problems. High cruising speed is sometimes considered of minor importance because the helicopter is usually employed to move troops and equipment over relatively short distances. However, for self-deployment over transoceanic routes to areas of potential conflict, higher cruising speeds help offset the adverse effect of headwinds. The Chinook has a maximum ferry range of over 1,500 nautical miles when encountering an average headwind of 15 knots. This range is adequate for North Atlantic ferry routes to Europe and from there to any point on the globe. Important features of the Chinook include twin-engine reliability, marginal weather flight capability, an absence of load balancing problems, straight-in rear loading, a sealed fuselage for flotation, long-life steel spar rotor blades, a lack of dependence upon ground support equipment at the operating activity, and major design improvements for reducing its maintenance requirements. Delivery of Chinook helicopters to U.S. Army user and logistical test activities are scheduled for early 1962. These will be followed immediately by deliveries to operating units. The YHC-1B Chinook is being procured by the Aeronautical Systems Division, U.S. Air Force, for the U.S. Army. This aircraft will replace the H-21 Shawnee, H-34 Choctaw, and H-37 Mojave as the standard helicopter to be assigned to all U.S. Army transport helicopter companies. Its introduction into Army inventory represents a significant increase in tactical airlift capability for G.I. Joe and the elements which support him in battle.